All right, Coach. Whenever you're ready to run it down.
All right. Well, I'll just kind of open up, tell you a little bit about the class. I think it was a real good class. I think we're rated 3rd class in FCS. Got the 2nd rated quarterback in the FCS coming out of high school. So I think it's a good class. Our assistant coaches did a great job. You can kind of look at it and see what we emphasized. We had to make sure we got an older quarterback and a young quarterback, got a lot of linemen, a lot of DBs. So that's kind of broad, big picture, what we went out and tried to do, because last year we got a lot of skilled guys on offense and a lot of big guys on defense, so we kind of did the opposite this year. I think it's 2 really good classes back to back. That should be really good for our future. We signed 12 guys at the first signing period and then 10 on this one. I'll just go through the 10 guys and then open it up for questions. So the first one on my list is out of Ferris High School in Spokane. Terrence, he came over from Hawaii, was the defensive player of his league. Really just runs around. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds. Plays the game of football the way you want to see it played. He runs around, hits people, plays with great effort, has a really good motor, has a good nose for the football. Could see him, competing right away at the safety position, possibly could get bigger and grow into a Sam, but I think he would start out as a safety. The next guy, Coach Sink did a really good job of recruiting him. The next guy, Nate, 6'3", 270 pounds, 275 pounds from Sierra High School, so the high school of Tom Brady. Coach Reeder did an outstanding job recruiting him, along with Coach Sink helping him. This was a huge get. He's a really, really good football player. He can run, he's very athletic, strong, probably could play all 3 positions, center, guard, or tackle. He played tackle for them. But the way he can run and how athletic he is, you could really see him as a guard or a center also. His mom and dad came with him on the visit here. Really good parents, good people. Very excited to have him be a part of the team. The third guy is Mike Boudre. He's a quarterback. Came out of high school in Winter Park. Went to the Panhandle, West Florida. They had just started the program. It was a Division II school. He was part of starting the program. Led him to a national championship. They lost it his last year there. Then they turned around and won it this last year. But he did a great job helping turn that program around. Then he went to UConn. You watch his tape at when he was in Florida, and man, he's got a big arm, can make all the throws. He's athletic enough to make plays running the ball also. Very excited to get him. He's an older kid, very smart, loves football, likes to study it, and I think he'll have, that was just a really good get for us. Next on the list is D. Nash. He's a corner from the University of Montana. He'll be a graduate transfer, along with Mike's a graduate transfer also. He started for him the last 2 years. He's played a lot of football in this league. He's a really good football player. We're definitely excited to have him come here. Then you got Kobe Nosworthy. He's a receiver and defensive back out of Coeur d'Alene. Did a great job playing for them this last year. Led them to the state championship. Made all kinds of catches and runs. Made plays all over the place. We'll probably start him out at safety first. Just that's kind of what we recruited him. But I could see him, in fall camp playing both sides of the ball. He did a good job for them, both sides of the ball, both at receiver and safety. Again, we had him and his mom and dad here on campus. Most of the guys that we got to have the parents come on campus with them, we had a great chance of signing them. That says a lot about the people on our campus. All the way from athletic director to president to professors to everybody. Our players did a really good job recruiting, and everybody did a great job of helping out there. Next on the list is from McCall. Noah, he also led his team to the state championship, 6'1", 200 pounds, has really good hands. You see him make a lot of one-handed catches. He's strong, breaks tackles. Also did a good job for them on defense, but that was a good get, and it was really good. Kobe was recruited by, D. Nash was recruited by Vernon Smith. Kobe was recruited by Coach Sink. Noah was recruited by Jamie Schultz. So all those guys just wanted, we all kind of team recruit, but those were kind of the lead recruiters on those guys. Did a really good job there. Excited to have Noah be a part of the program and be really good to get him here. Rico, you probably, Landon, you've seen that name before, so that's Austin's little brother. He's also a punter and a kicker, he's got a big leg. He is gonna go on his mission first, and then come here in 2 years. But great to get another big time kicker from that family. So we're very excited about that from Central Valley. Coach Sink was the lead recruiter there. Derek, that was another great get. Coach Schultz and Adam Bresky both recruited him from Eagle High School. You know, kind of reminds me when we got Nick out of that area last year. I thought Nick was the best offensive player, you know, really in the state that we were trying to get. Derek was the best defensive player in that area. He's got a great bloodline. His dad played Arizona State, played professional baseball, played both football and baseball in college. All his uncles, aunts, everybody played major college, some sport. But he's just a good football player. He's tough, hard-nosed. He can really run. He's got great speed. He can run sideline to sideline, make tackles. Definitely would see him coming in here and competing to play early. Definitely just a really good football player. That was a great get. Elijah Sanchez from Palm Springs, another, getting Nate and Elijah, those are 2 old linemen that those were really outstanding jobs by everybody recruiting them. Coach Oliver was the lead recruiter on Elijah. Coach Sink definitely helped out there. It was big getting in the home there. His dad came with him on his visit here. He's 6'5", 290, as a tackle. As a kid, I think, that can come in and compete and have a great chance to have an opportunity to play early. Does a lot of good things on the field. He's very athletic and he has good strength, good pass protector. Does a lot of good things. JJ's the next one. Jermaine, really tried to get him to sign early at the first signing date. Didn't work out. We got him to sign this next one. He's from San Mateo. Coach Reeder was the lead recruiter there. And he's just I got to watch him in practice. Has great ball skills. I mean, he can really track the ball in the air. The coach told me he was probably their best running back too. They just couldn't afford to get him hurt, so they would just line him up a running back, give him the ball 9 to 10 times, and then he'd play receiver the rest of the time. Was really good. He was all state, both as a receiver and a punt returner. Very dynamic, great hands, does a lot of good things. So excited to have him. That was the guys that signed today. We can't talk about the gray shirts. We did get some good gray shirts, but I can't tell you who they are.
Are the gray shirts in line with your recruiting priorities we were talking about earlier?
Yes, they are very similar.
And I've heard some rumbling.
Really good player from in-state, but we can't talk about it.
I've been hearing rumblings. People are talking about, you know, this might be one of the best offensive line classes in a few years. Is that maybe fair to say?
I would agree with that,
Okay.
definitely.
Is-
Yeah. You know, we've had a lot of young freshmen come in here and be really good players. Like Jordan Rose did it, Noah did it, Logan did it, but they were kind of one at a time. I guess Jordan and Steve Madlock did it together, so it would be kind of similar to that. But you know, all 5 of them are good players. I'm very excited about them. Jory scored 40 points in his basketball game the other day. You know, so I think they're all athletic. They're all good players, and yeah, there's no question it could be one of our better lines as a whole group that we've had for sure.
Anthony must have made an impression early because he was only here 1 year. I mean, nobody knew about him until he showed up.
Which is probably good for us, honestly. Yeah, I mean, nobody knew about him in junior recruiting. Nobody really had him on their lists. And man, he's just a football player. Plays the game the way you like to see guys play it. Loves it. Loves to just fly around and hit people and tackle people. And it was really good because he committed to us, and some good schools came into his school the next week that really weren't on him. Then after he put it out there that he committed to it, he tried to recruit him and tried to get him to switch, and he didn't even visit him. He stuck to his commitment. That was really nice. Good to see.
And I understand you're getting the whole family with him too.
They all came down on the visit, so that was great. It was good, a real good family.
And a guy like Nash, how do you swing a guy like that? That's the, you know, biggest rival comes over.
Yeah, that's just something that you know, sometimes when you're a graduate student, they end up changing schools for different things that they're looking for, and it's just really good to have him. It's a good thing.
You see him being like kind of a plug in for that spot left open by Lloyd, perhaps.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that would work really good.
Okay.
Yes, I think that would work out real well. Might even wear his number.
Who will be on campus out of this new group for the spring?
Oh, from the new group?
Yeah.
Nobody, 'cause school's
Oh,
already started.
no.
So just from the old group. So, who's on campus right now? Chad Bagel's already on campus, working out, doing things really well, moves well, does a lot of things. Fafe's already on campus, going to school, working out with us. And Chauncey Smart. Those are the only ones that are already on campus doing things with us.
Can you see moving any of your quarterbacks? I mean, you got so many now.
Yeah, that's something that you never know. You can see, but we'll have this spring and see how that goes, and then we'll have 2 more coming in the fall.
Okay. You have any idea how maybe you'll structure the quarterback competition? It seems like it's like 4 guys now or something in the competition.
That's really not that. I mean, it's 4 is more than we're used to having. We're usually at 2 or 3, but yeah, I mean, I think we'll go through spring ball, have those other guys coming in the summer, and then see how it works out, make that decision when fall camp starts.
The wide receiver group, is it sort of predicated on speed, would you say, this year? I've been seeing, some of the maybe shorter guys, smaller, maybe prone to be quicker.
I think Jermaine's just got great hands, so he is shorter and small, but he doesn't play small. Because he can go catch the ball above his head. He can go make all these plays up here. Where Chauncey is small and he's super fast. So those are the 2 guys kind of that we added that we thought we needed to improve in that aspect. And then last year's class. Last year's class was a really good class, redshirted most all of them. They really got to make huge strides this spring. Really take a step forward and see where they're at from there.
Have you guys kind of recalibrated the focus of your recruiting? I mean, this kind of looks like traditional Idaho recruiting.
Yes.
The Northwest backfilling with California kids.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's what we will be, and that's what when we were still in the Sun Belt, you were playing in the South, and I had a lot of connections in the South, so then we were recruiting more in that area. But yeah, I think you're exactly right. This is more kind of how the last 2 years. That doesn't mean one kid from here and there might, but yeah, that's basically what it'll be now.
The goals kind of retain some of the South. I've been noticing, obviously, the Florida guys too. I know that's been
We
a
still
Florida
want to
thing.
get a couple guys. That's the other guy that's on campus. My fault, right? As you said that, Arnell Walker's on campus. He was a gray shirt the year before, and he's on campus and just running around, just doing. When he runs with the strength coaches, he's got good speed. So it's good to have him here.
Last spring, you guys were like kind of the Spartans in the 300. You going to have any more kids go through spring this year or not?
We'll have a lot more. We have more. This is the most, when we started our winter in the weight room, this is the most guys we've had on campus since I've been here. Yeah, we have 90 guys in there.
So that about that many is going to go through spring.
Yeah, that's hopefully.
Just kind of overarchingly, what's to like best about this wide receiver group right now? Because with all the guys coming back plus all these new guys, it seems like you have a lot to choose from. Is there some overarching trait that
I think the first thing that'll be nice is the competition. So there's a whole bunch of them. I think anytime you can get guys, first of all, they got to be able to get open. Kind of when you break down a receiver, either recruiting them or coaching them, the number one, they got to be able to get open. They got to have the traits to separate, to win at the line of scrimmage, and get themselves open. And then number 2, they got to be able to catch it. So hands, that's something that we definitely look at and how well they do that. And I think we have a lot of guys that can do that and then run with it. You kind of, as you break it down in 4 things, they got to get open, then they got to catch it, run with it, maintain possession of it. And I think the traits that we have in this group, and it's nice because you got some taller, fast guys, you got some smaller, quick guys, and I think they'll all be able to do a good job and just compete, see who rises to the top. You got Cottrell coming back, and the last game of the year, those 2, Hayden did a really good job last game. McCormick made some good plays in the last game, so you got those guys coming back, and then everyone else kind of really played a couple of games here and there and redshirted, and we'll all go for it.
Mike Beaudry, is that how you say Beaudry, I assume? Does he, the 255, does he carry
doesn't
that
look it,
weight
though.
really well? Okay.
Like if he walked in here right now, you would think he weighs 220. Like it's a lean, big shoulders, big chest, but that is what he weighed. But he didn't. I wouldn't have thought that. Like, you know, when I would have thought he was 220, 225. He doesn't look that heavy, but he's thick, big bones, thick, but he doesn't look that heavy.
Is he pretty well recovered up? I know that last year he'd been a little dinged up here and
Yeah,
there.
he's in good shape now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you like best from him on film? Was it just
His arm, you know, his decision making, his ability to make plays under duress. You know, he could have people in his face and coming down on him and still make throws. He could make throws all different places of the field. And then when I met with him, really his intelligence. He really understands the game of football.
And he's not gonna be here till the summer,
He won't get here till the summer.
but it sounds like he's a pretty quick study. You're not worried about him
I
taking
think he'll
it
be
up.
able to pick it up, yeah.
You guys, anything else for Coach?
When does spring start?
Spring starts, gosh, I don't have that date on me right now.
Don't have it.
I'll get it to
Second.
you though. It's like, we have
I-
spring break a week, we'll get it to you though. Sorry, I should've wrote it down.
It's very late March.
Oh, okay. Perfect. That sounds good.
I'll send you.
This isn't exactly applicable to recruiting, but how are you working Jackson Woodward? Is he practicing basketball and going through winter conditions?
Yes, he's not missing anything with football. So they needed some help. They were down a couple guys for practice, and so he's helping them out and doing that. But he's in all our. Well, he traveled with them this week, so he missed
Right.
a couple things this week. But other than that, he's been on all the weightlifting and all the things there. And it's a big spring for him. He needs to go compete to be a starting safety. So, but he's enjoying it. He's enjoying it, going out there and playing. So good for him.